everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a get ready with me because I've never done one before and I want to know what the heck it entails. And so far, it's really hella hot. Because of that, I'm going to put my hair in a crappy bun like I always do. I don't know who, does their hair down in clothes. All of those beauty tutorials that I always see, I'm like, you're lying. When you have to get ready, you're in your jams, okay? I've recently found this primer, and it's Baby Skin by Maybelline, and I don't know if I'll ever go back. It kind of reminds me of that e.l.f. pore putty thing, but it's smoother on the skin somehow. It just makes the skin look better somehow. I always call my skin the Crypt Keeper whenever it's just naked. I don't know why. My skin's just been total, just butt kiss. I think it might be my makeup wipes, actually. I think they might be drying out my skin or something. Because my skin routine is something from my dermatologist. And not something that a beauty influencer sold me. I use yellow concealer instead of just normal concealer. Just because I found that it really brightens up my skin because I have a yellow undertone. So for me, it works really well. I don't recommend this for everybody, but for me, it works really well. This is a brand new one too, so it's going to take a while to squish it out. I'm putting on a cosplay, so I guess it's a get ready with me in cosplay type of thing. I guess. Everybody's doing well. I hope you're doing well in quarantine if you're still in quarantine. And if it's later, I hope you're having a wonderful life, and I hope you all are living your dreams and doing what you want to do in life, because man, I look back on my last 2 years and boy did I make mistakes. Boy, oh boy, it was a boy. I think one of my regrets was dating too soon, but also dating too late. I feel like for me, I should have dated a lot earlier because I was very immature as a person because I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And also I picked somebody that I feel like we had a better friendship than we ever really did have a relationship. And it sucks because it ended in such a bad way that I never get that person back as a friend. And just in general, all of the people in my life have just kind of ended, and I feel like there's just that sweet spot that people just need to hit. But even so, you learn from your mistakes and you move on with your life, and you do the best that you can, and you just keep moving forward. It's really, really hard to admit that you were wrong, and it's really hard to admit when something's over. And I definitely can admit when I'm wrong. I apologize profusely. People are like, stop apologizing. I do too much. But honestly, I don't know. I just feel like if somebody is upset, no matter what you think is wrong, you think that they're in the wrong or whatever, if you've hurt someone's feelings, you should apologize. It doesn't matter if you think that they're overreacting or anything like that. You still hurt their feelings. Their feelings are valid. I mean, it doesn't mean you're not gonna make a mistake again, or you just know what people's lines are and you don't cross it. Yeah, I have my best friend, I said a joke, and it was a bad joke, and it really hurt her feelings. It wasn't about her or anything, it was just to me, I was just saying a random thing, but to her, I hit a trigger word, and she just got really, really hurt because she thought it was mean, and I apologized and I adjusted my behavior, and I never said that word again around her. I never made that same joke again. That's the thing about comedy, though, that just really sucks in our society, because we now live in an era where it's cancel culture is a big, big, big thing. And it's so hard to know where that line is. So it's for comedy, it's really, really, really difficult nowadays. Thank God I'm not a comedian. So I'm doing my brows right now, and I am doing a wig, and I am doing this eyeliner that is from Kiss New York Professional. I'm just using this for, honestly, I thought it was just going to be like a base and then I was going to put eyeshadow with it. But honestly, it's working just like an eyeshadow thing. Did I find a hack? I think I found a hack. In quarantine, I have shaved off the tails of my brows. A little bit, because I still want to keep this part so that I can do the arch really easily. But yeah, I just really, honestly, it just comes out of the pure hatred of plucking my eyebrows. And I honestly am just like, why would I spend $10 when I could just hack them to death by myself? And that's what gets me to these brows. I don't think I can do this all the time, just in quarantine, because when I do go out sometimes, or when I go to work, I sometimes don't wear makeup because I'm just like, what's the point? Or if I don't have time or anything, or if I just don't feel like it that day, I just don't wear makeup. And where I work, it has a Sephora in it, and they judge me when I don't wear makeup, and I'm just like, honey, you're talking to the queen. As far as eyeshadow goes, they have beautiful bases. I think everybody who works at Sephora always has beautiful bases. Like, their foundation game is on point. Their brow game is so much better than mine, as you can see. Let's contour, because I'm looking at myself on the viewfinder, and I look like a ghost. So we're gonna contour. I researched what was the best drugstore bronzer, and it said Rimmel. I've never actually used this brand before. This is honestly my first time, and it's a drugstore brand. Rimmel, London. Rimmel, I don't know. But the smell is just like makeup. Like, it just smells like old lady makeup, and it makes me just want to like get a makeup product just for the smell. Because this one just smells like old makeup, and I get it. I use Airspun, and Airspun smells like old lady. It smelled like old lady. In fact, when my grandmother, who is almost 90 years old, asked me to buy her makeup, we were in the store together. We went to Walmart because, you know, she didn't want to pay that much money, but we went to Walmart, and I pulled up the Airspun, and I was like, she's like, I remember that. My mother used to use that. And I was like, wow. Now I look like a person. Also, I've been using white for my base now. And this NYX base, it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like, if you love to use white, and if you love to use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil as your base, upgrade to this. Treat yourself. I think it was only $5 or something like that. It's great. And then a little goes a long way. I am barely like tapping this brush into the product because a lot comes onto your synthetic brush. A lot. Yeah. But no, yeah. I've been realizing that I was getting really into my makeup rut, you know, in this quarantine, reaching for the same products over and over again, and I'm just realizing, I'm just like, you have the time to explore, and you can buy more things than just eyeshadow palettes, because I just kind of buy eyeshadow palettes, because eyeshadow is kind of my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing to do, and it is my artistry really coming to life. But artistry is not just about the eyeshadow, it's also about all of the other stuff, like the eyebrows and the base and everything like that. We are going to be doing something really dope. Real dope. We're gonna go... Let me embarrass myself here. Alright, so... Yeah, okay, so in the inner corner-ish area right here, we are going into the shade from Mint to Be Seltzer? Looks like Seltzer. So this shade right here, and we are going to be putting that into this. Oh, I love that shade. I haven't really used this palette that much. This is my first time really using it, and so far, I've used the shimmer shades, but I have not used the mattes yet. Oh, the shade's so pretty. I love it. I'm in love. And we are gonna go into, we're gonna do a fight between Blue Moon and In a Trance here. Because Moonlight would look good. But also, the blue in this palette. I really want to give Future Self a redemption story. Shall we give it a redemption story? Let's try it. Let's try it. And if not, we will just cover over it. I'm gonna try to give it a redemption story. I'm using a flat brush. Okay. Alright. There we go. I have to pat it in. But there we go. It's there. There we go. I have never had to pat something on my eye like this. But there. I said that it needed a white base. And it did. Yay. Parents' TV is so loud. Let's darken this up a little bit. And we are going to go into... we're going to go into Blue Moon and we are going into Moonlight. I just want to see how similar this is to this color. Because when I first got In Trance, it looked really similar, so I wanted to see how it is. And we're putting this on the outer edge here. Okay, so it is a little bit darker, which is what I wanted. So we did well. So moonlit. Moonlit, moonlight, moonlit, moonlit. See, that's pretty. That is hella pretty. I'm thinking about doing a halo cut crease because halo cut creases are life. But I am just gonna go into Ice Cold in the Mint to Be palette. And I'm going in with a smaller brush just to see. I don't want it to be too dark. So that is green. That is green. That is very green and very pigmented. I love this palette. This palette is great. This palette is A+. A++. A++. Blue Moon is good too. But this is great. Today, my inspiration comes from just the fact that Miku's wig is green but blue at the same time. So I wanted to make a look that was green and blue at the same time. If I were to get a blue wig, I would probably get the Snow Princess wig. The Snow Princess wig, which I really want that figure and I really, really want that cosplay. I am not the size though, and I do not want to make it because that thing just looks impossible to make, and it also looks impossible for commission. Like, this would be so expensive to commission that. Let's move on to cutting the creases. So I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush for cutting the crease because I have not cut a halo crease in a while. So let's just try our best. Isosceles triangle, I believe. Yeah, it's an isosceles triangle. I know I took geometry in the Trance palette, and I'm gonna go into Daydream Baby. Please don't fail me now. Don't ruin this look. It looks nice. I'm going to take a gigantic brush. This is giant with Daydream Baby. Let it fall out, and I'm just gonna go ham underneath the eye. And this is gonna be kind of the that blush type of thing going on. In my mind, it's Halloween for the rest of the until Christmas. It's Halloween now, and then it's Christmas. I'm in quarantine. I might as well have fun. So it's Halloween up until Halloween's over. Then it's Christmas. Halloween gets more months because I like it better. I like it better just because, like, I feel like I have much, from my childhood, I have better memories from Halloween than I do Christmas. I don't know, I just love Halloween because of my godmother. She really loved Halloween, and Frankenstein was, like, her favorite monster, and it just kind of cemented Halloween, and my godmother passed away a few years ago from breast cancer, and I really loved Halloween, not because of her death, but because she was in my life and she made it special. And she always encouraged my creativity, and she always encouraged me to be the best person I am. And I'm really, really lucky to have had her as my godmother. And I hope to see her again many, many years, but I miss her every day. That's the thing about people who pass away, who are close to us. There's always a thing that we're always just like, hey, we'll see you again eventually. But when you lose people in your 20s, you never know. Obviously, like, you never know, but statistically, you know, if a freak accident doesn't happen, you know, it's gonna be a while. And it's a long time to miss someone, you know? It's a long time to go without seeing the person that you really, really love. And, of course, you go on with your life, and you fill your life with other things. For me, I fill it with things and people, and, you know, a lot of creativity, you know? A lot of the things that I do are for the people that I've lost, and the people in my life. Sometimes it's out of spite, but most of it is for the people in my life, to make them proud, and to make the people that I've lost proud as well. Because I believe in God, and I believe in the afterlife. I believe in heaven. And I just messed up my eyeliner. But I believe in that. And I believe that they can see me from where they are. And, you know, every time I do something, every time I direct a new movie, every time I act in another project, every time I do my makeup, I you know, I feel like they're there. I feel the closest to them when I do something creative, or I do something that I really, really want to do, or if I accomplish a goal, you know? I don't know if that helps anybody, but, like, every time I do something that I've always wanted to do, it just, you know, it's like you're on the right path, you know, and you're not wasting your life. Boy, do I feel like I wasted my life. Okay, so without mascara, my eyes look like gerbils. Gerbils. With all of this on, it looks like gerbils. Also, it kind of looks high fashion. Like, I've seen this on runways, like, it makes sense. Like, I bleached my brows. Remember that trend, guys? The one thing that gets me, though, is that, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Shane Dawson was in the show where he was directing with other directors, and he won. And he directed Not Cool, which, if you've seen it, it's not that good a movie. It kind of reminds me of True Friends with, I think that's what it's called. I think it's like Best Friends or True Friends with Ryan Reynolds. And it reminds me of that. Wait a minute. It's like exactly that. Almost. Because it's just like an inverse of that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did Shane Dawson seriously just steal the plotline of that Ryan Reynolds movie? It seems like he did. That video might be coming soon, because I'm gonna go watch both of those movies back to back after I do all this work that I need to do today. And that's gonna be a thing. Because, like, he has this opportunity to create a movie, which is an amazing opportunity, by the way. An amazing opportunity, because movies are incredibly expensive to make. I mean, you can do it really cheap, like Blair Witch style cheap, or Paranormal Activity cheap. So there's ways of making them. And I've made a tiny little horror movie myself for a project. It's not an easy task to do. I wrote, directed, and did the voice acting for it. I might publish it on this channel. I have to get my friend's permission to do it because I use them as the actors, but not an easy task, but it is an easy task if you have the opportunities for it. And that was a great opportunity to make a horror movie. That was a very, very great opportunity. Like, come on. Why couldn't you make a horror movie? Why did you make a comedy movie? I know, like, people best know you for comedy, but in that opportunity, you had a chance to to diversify yourself and make a scary movie. And also, horror movies, they are cheaper. They're cheap to make. They are. I think if you want to do your effects budget, if you want to make your effects budget, like, cheaper, I guess don't go practical, I guess, but still. And practical effects are so much better. They look so much better. So I would honestly hope that it would be. But honestly, that was a great opportunity that he could have done that. So why didn't he do that? I haven't actually watched the series, so I guess I can't really judge him too harshly. Like, maybe he couldn't because of some reason, but I don't know. That was just something in his apology too. He's like, I'm gonna try to make movies now. I was like, what's stopping you? What's stopping him? You know, he has all of this money now from the conspiracy palette, and he has all of this money from just being a YouTuber. Like, I remember seeing this Instagram post where he was talking about a golf cart that he had, and then it was like his dream to have a golf cart, and I was like, okay. And also, if you have this new fancy house, you can film there. You don't even have to get permits for it. Like, that's your house. You don't even have to get a permit for your house. And you can get creative with it. I mean, you did the documentary seriesy thing. I'm pretty sure you can find a creative outlet, find a creative way to do that in the resources you have. Especially because it's quarantine, man. Make it like Hush. Hush is such a great horror movie, and it's done so well, and it was done by Mike Flanagan and his wife. They just acted it out in their house. They completely acted it out in their house, and they came up with other scenarios for him to break in and do that kind of stuff. If you haven't watched Hush, go do it. I know it was on Netflix for a while, but it is a great horror movie. And that should be really, really cool. I would love to see Rylan act, and I would love to see Shane act, and you could do really, really cool things in a house. They have the camera. I film with this camera, and it looks good. And also iPhones. I had to, because my project was in quarantine, so I had to use my friends' phones because they didn't have this camera, so I had to use what I wanted. But for them, they have the money, they have the resources, they have all this thing, and it's just the time. And now with quarantine, you have the time. So honestly, Shane, make the thing. If that's your dream, because that's my dream, do it. Shane is more successful than I will ever be, but I'm going to school for my degree in film, and I'm living that, and I'm doing my best every day to do that. I'm making content that I love, makeup content. I've been doing makeup since I was 13 years old, and I have been acting since I was 13 professionally, and I have a degree in theater, and I'm getting a film BA, so it's just, and I get it, success isn't measured by education or anything like that, but I'm doing what I love. And if what he truly wants to do is be a director, be an actor, be a movie maker, and make movies like Wes Craven, which By the way, big fan myself, which is why I really, really liked Shane, because we were both Wes Craven fans. Do it. Don't make excuses. Because you have the money, you have the resources. I have none of that, and I've already made a short film. You're canceled right now? What better way than to come back on top and be like, I have a movie. I remember for my senior year, we had to pass this like semester project thing. It was called a capstone project, and we had to pass it or we did not graduate. And we had this big third quarter presentation, and I failed it. I choked. I got overconfident and I choked, and that was awful. It was spring break and they told me that I did not pass it. And so for a minute there I thought I was not going to graduate not graduate high school. But of course I got to retake it. My other bad grades stood, but I got to redo it and I got to pass the grade, right? But still, doing that, I had to write a script for another class. There was another class that I had where all of us seniors, we put on a show. We wrote and acted and we put on a show, and that was the entire class. And I was the writer. I wrote that entire script right after I got that email from my teacher telling me that I did not pass my presentation. And I wrote it in I wrote it in a few days, I guess I wrote it in one night, edited it in another, and then when I got back from spring break, we all read through it. And our teacher was like, is there any changes Katie needs to do? Everyone's like, no, we love it. And I was like, perfect. Because I was also in it. I was acted in it, and I wrote in it. I wrote in it. I wrote it, and I acted in it. So I was doing that stuff since I was 18. And I've been creating that stuff and writing for many, 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 many years now. Many, 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 many years. And Shane is how old? How old? And then, has gained so much money and hasn't even made one film? I mean, I know you need licenses and you need permits and everything, but I know he knows this because he's made music videos and stuff like that. I remember he was just like, you gotta spend all of this money for this one video to make the, thing. He used to do all of those music videos, Super Love and all these other music videos, and they were, during the parody thing, and it probably was a lot of money to do that and shoot and stuff like that. But when you're making a movie and it's something that you actually want to do, that's something that's your dream, it's worth the money even if you don't make it back. Don't hold yourself back just because the beauty community seduced you or whatever. Which, honestly, you can do both. You can do both. You can do both. You can be a film person and do makeup. It's possible. I know. Crazy, right? It is crazy. And I know the controversy with him right now, about the podcast and about James Charles and Jeffree Star and all this kind of other stuff. Honestly, as far as the podcast thing goes, I have seen comedians do much worse. 100% worse. And I'm going to put a clip from Anthony Jeselnik right now.
And people get weird when kids die. Well, that's a fact. About a month ago, some kids in my neighborhood are playing hide and go seek, and one of them ended up in an abandoned refrigerator. It's all anybody talked about for weeks. I said, who cares? How many kids you know get to die a winner?
You don't know anything about pain. You don't know anything about pain until you've seen your own baby drowned in a tub. And you definitely don't know anything about how to wash a baby.
That's worse. That's 150 times worse than anything Shane Dawson said. Also, you have, like, just in general, our society, we have moved the line for where comedy is. We have moved it. It is gone. It is just all in a different place than it was when he made that joke. And it's edgy for sure, but as comedians, like, that's their job. And you're holding Shane Dawson to a higher mortality than these comedians. And honestly, don't they have the same job to entertain people? Like, that's the thing. And then, of course, like, for some of the stuff, there is no excuse at all. There is no excuse. Like, blackface, no excuse at all. 100% no. But if somebody apologized and tries to make amends and tries to be a better person and change, then you should accept it. And you shouldn't just keep holding that over their head. But if you do it once, you don't have to keep doing it. I feel like people just bring that up to cancel them whenever they need to, and that's not fair. And I feel like there should be a statute of limitations. This thing has nothing in it, so I should not talk as I do this. A statute of limitations. There also should be, like, if this person apologized, it should be, like, in a book somewhere. Like, you bring up this controversy, and there should be just, like, a book or a ruling that's like, they apologized and they moved on. We're always evolving, we're always changing. You should let people change, and you shouldn't hold their past over them. If they've already addressed that they've changed and they've taken strides, the people can just say something and not move on. That's why I don't really necessarily trust beauty, like, just the beauty community in general, because people can apologize and then not make any, like, changes to their behavior. Is Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star gonna dig their way out? I don't know. I just know that don't say that the beauty community is the reason for all of this. Like, this is not. You're saying that, like, oh, the beauty community, they're all bad people and all they wanted, they're, like, hungry for power and attention, and that's everybody in LA. That's everybody for fame and stuff like that. Like, welcome to the arts industry, man. Like, humble yourself, man. Like, has they ever worked in the theater? Has anybody of these people ever worked in, like, a theater? Ever? Like, that's just high school. That's high school theater. Essentially, that's the beauty community. A high school theater department. That's essentially what they are. And I've dealt with that. Hella. If you don't live for yourself, and you don't live and do the things that you want to do, you will get wrapped up into things that don't really matter. For me, it was men. For Shane, it was the beauty community. And I feel like if you should really get back to the things that you've wanted to do. For me, I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I've been doing it for years. I've been saying for years. I had all these ideas. Years and years. And then I only started when quarantine. That's the only reason I started. And I love it. And I love showing, like, my talent. And I love showing everybody my tips and tricks and things like that. Because, you know, that's who I am. People are gonna hate you. People are gonna absolutely hate you for cancel culture and all this kind of stuff. They're absolutely gonna hate you. 100%. But does that mean you stop growing and you stop being a good person and you try to prove to them that you've changed, that you're a good person, that you have all this growth? Actions speak louder than apology videos. You can't just make a video and expect everybody to love you. You have to put in the work. You have to put in all of this effort in order for people to respect you again and for people to gain that trust back. There's a proper way to do things, and there's a non-proper way to do things. And I really hope that this helps anybody. This is like little gossiping. It's like a little gossip, little advice, little history I'm gonna probably edit this because I have a lot. With that being said, I'm gonna go put on my cosplay and I'll be right back. And then here's the finished look. Oh, so this is actually my first time officially cosplaying Miku. I love it. So what mine is I wanted to do Japanese street style, Jane fashion street style Miku. I really have other Mikus that I want to do in the future, but this is the one I want to do. This feels so cool right now. Yeah, thank you so much for watching all of this Get Ready With Me. I have been your host, Katie, and I'm going to end this video here. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button twice. If you like me, please subscribe for more quality ass content, and subscribe to that bell. Subscribe to the bell, yeah. Be part of the bell squad, and hit all notifications, and something magical happens when you do. You get to know when I upload. So you get to know this look before I actually publish the videos on it. So, yeah. With that being said, guys, I will see y'all in the next video. Stay safe out there.